All right, welcome back to another market breakdown. Today is January 25th on a Sunday. And on this new week, as we can see on the previous week, we see that gold actually closed very bullish. Not just any kind of bullish, but it closed very strong as well too. Barely no wicks, all body. So this can mean a couple of things, right? First, we can see that this means that we're clearly in an uptrend, right? So just from a candle behavior standpoint, what this tells us is that on the opening of the new week, we expect price to open and retrace down to a certain percentage before it decides to go up higher. So we are at $5,000. We're getting close to 5,000. We ain't too far from that. But what I can say is on the RSI, we definitely are overbought. And usually two things can happen when the RSI are overbought. It can either retrace down and continue to go higher, or we can expect price to reverse. In this case, the momentum is very strong. So we're going to continue to see price continue to push up. Most likely it might just push through this, continue going higher. Now, so let's go to the daily time frame. And then on the daily, we can see clear as day that we're bullish even on the daily as well too. So just another clear lesson, right? From a basic candle behavior standpoint. As you can see on this candle here, right? Let's start with this one right here. You can see how price opened, retraced down, went up higher, and then closed. Let's zoom in on this. You see the same thing here. Price open, retraced down, went up higher, then closed bullish. What happened here? Price open, retraced down, went up higher, and closed here. Same here. Price open, retraced down, went up higher, and closed here. What I'm trying to say is when price is bullish, right? What you can expect is for the next candle to open, retrace down at a certain percentage, and then some retracement are deeper than others, as you can see. You can see how this wick here, this low of the candle, is small. This one is a huge retracement down. So, but if we look right, we put the measurement right from this opening, price retrace. So that's pretty deep. Price retrace down to 1.30%. So that's not normal. That means something happened for it to retrace that deep. But usually on the average, price might retrace between 0.10 to 0.30 to 0.60% of a retracement. So if we look at this one, let's see how deep this one was. Yeah, see, this is at 0.80%, which is fine. You just wait for price to make that clear breaking structure. So on the next one, we expect the same thing. We expect for price to retrace down just a tad a little bit and then continue to go up higher. Just like this one. You see this one here. This one retraced down before it pushed back up. It retraced down to 0.17%. So, like I said, each one is just different, but this is the basic anatomy of how all candles operate. Now we go to the 4 hour. You see, you can even see here that price is closed bullish as well too, and we also overbought. So we overbought on all platforms, right? So what this tells me is that this is our support level right here, because price retraced down and then tapped back into the zone and then overall went back up higher. So what that tells me is that this is our next support level. So in other words, what this means is if price happened to break below here, right, because we are overbought on the RSI, then at that point, this could be an early indication that we could be seeing price retrace down somewhat. But as long as we continue to remain above this support level, then yeah, the next 4 hour candle could probably retrace down to tad a little bit, maybe even tap into this, and then continue to push up higher. But like I said, I will be cautious as we continue making higher highs, because we are coming to a zone where the RSI is overbought, and we come into an area where people will be taking out their profit. So I would not be surprised if price decides to, retrace down once it's fully tapped into it, or maybe even it might go over just a tad a little bit, then go down. Who knows? Or it might just continue to go up. Who knows? Only thing we can do is just follow structure. Our job is not to guess what price is doing. It's just to follow market structure. Right now, market structure is still bullish, right? It is showing some rejections. As you can see here, we had price came and closed and rejected. And you see here, price closed bullish, but it also rejected. So it barely got above here. So this is an area that I'm going to be watching to see how they react when it comes to the zone. So probably might put a mark right here as an area of resistance, because we did have some rejections around here. Just kind of see how price is going to react here. So other than that, that's what gold is doing. So overall, still bullish unless something change. Look at yields. Yields is very key when looking at goals. As you can see, it's going to be very important. We're losing this big old range right here on yields, right? So what this means is, and yields finally broke out of this. So if yields happen to tap into this, if yields make a positive, like a breaking structure and start going into a nice uptrend, then this might be a clear indication definitely for gold to drop. Because why did I say that? Because when yields is going up very strong, that's not good for gold. I mean, gold can drop. And if yields is going down, I mean, gold can continue going up. So we got this little retracement going on right now, this little down little trend right now going on. But we'll see how it operates when we get close to this area right here. Now to look at DXY. So as you can see, let me adjust this. So as you can see, the opening of this week has already opened down here. So that's a huge negative gap. So this is the opening of this week so far. So clearly on the weekly time frame, we clearly had closed bearish. Very bad. I'm talking about very. So this has changed everything because now it literally went from a support level to breaking this area right here, right? So, and as you can see on the opening, we already got a negative gap. So we literally right back in the direction of price pushing back down. So this transitioning, because before I was telling y'all that the DXY was in a downtrend going to a transition. If it would have broke above this, then this would have been a good indication to see price push up. But it didn't do that. So since we back down here, then and we close bearish, we'll continue back in this direction to continue to push back down bearish. Right. So what that means for pairs like UJ, that means UJ could be a bearish week for UJ. Pairs like EU could be a bullish week. But like I said, we did have a negative open. So the fact that this open negative, then that's a huge gap right there. If you go to the daily time frame, this is kind of where we at. So this is where price retest broke below. Now we back below here. So at that point, we're gonna just continue going with the flow of seeing price push down since it's already in this type of trend, and then clear on the 4-hour with bearish as well too. So let's just move it down. Move this down to this range right here. That's a huge range right here. And other than that, that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm going to delete this. This already played out. So that's that for DXY. Then you got UJ. UJ definitely end up pushing back down. So this is definitely bearish. I need to delete this. I gotta update all this stuff. I'll do that later. Let's see. You need to update this too. But yeah, so it's kind of where we at right now with it. So we go to the weekly. Delete this to clean some stuff up. If we go to the weekly, we can see how, like I've been telling y'all, if y'all been watching, I've been telling y'all how, like, one thing about UJ, we've been in this range for a long time, and this was an area of resistance. So I'm not surprised that price ended up dropping because, like I say, if y'all watch my videos, y'all know that I've been, talking about this, how, price constantly be in this range right here. So this is a clear breaking structure because we was going in a nice uptrend, and then we clearly broke this on a weekly. So now this make this more bearish for price to continue to push down lower. Where did these levels come from? So weeks too, not even months. Okay, it's weekly time frame. So it's probably from previous week. Let me see. Oh, that's from the previous quarter. Okay, that's part of this quarter right here. But yeah, so let's go to the daily. So you can see here. I swear I thought I deleted this. But you can see here we're bearish. Got a clear breaking structure. So that changes everything. I'm gonna keep this here because price could potentially retrace back into this level. But right now, this will be the next resistance level since it's already created this momentum. So other than that, definitely bearish. So right here, so you can see how what price clearly broke out of. Right now we within this range, so depends on how this closed within this previous range right here. So other than that, it can already open. 25th. Alright, so put this here. So other than that, if you have any questions, drop your pair in the comments below. I'd be glad to break it down for you. And as well, any general questions, let me know. I'd be glad to answer your question. Even probably do some live too as well. But other than that, I will see you in the next video. Peace.